Hola amigos, estamos nada más y nada menos con Steve Rothery, el guitarrista de Marillion y también con un proyecto individual que es Steve Rothery Band. Hi Steve.
Hola Steve, qué gusto que estés con nosotros aquí en LaCajaFM.
It's great to be here. Very excited for the concerts here in Mexico.
Una pregunta que ha rondado mi cabeza mucho tiempo es saber si te consideras un héroe de la guitarra, un guitar hero.
No, because I'm not really a technical player. What I play is more about emotion, melody, and atmosphere. So it sometimes gets overlooked. You know, I mean, I think maybe some of the guitar magazines or you know, they kind of want the latest shredder, the latest fastest gun in the west of guitar. You know, and I've never been about that. So I just do what I do, and I think that makes me more of an individual player than maybe a lot of, you know, what I'm always trying to do is not play the obvious thing. I think there's guitarists around the world playing exactly the same licks, and I try and do something a bit different.
This kind of feeling about you playing.
¿Esta forma que tienes de tocar la guitarra siempre ha estado contigo o ha cambiado con el tiempo?
I think good music is timeless, really. I think trying to follow the trends or fashions is just a sign of desperation, really, I suppose. You know, for me, there's classic styles and approaches. My early influences, well, first of all, Hendrix and Santana, but then people like Dave Gilmour, Steve Hackett, and Andy Latimer all had an emphasis on that kind of melodic, singing, emotional quality to their playing. Because for me, that's what's so strong and so beautiful about the guitar, is that you have that ability to reach inside people and touch them. And you know, not many instruments can do that. So that's why I tend to play slower maybe than a lot of players, but I concentrate more on the emotion and the execution of every note.
Okay. ¿A dónde es a donde te llevan las emociones cuando estás ejecutando la guitarra, cuando estás tocando?
I focus all my being on every note as I'm playing it to make it as strong, as emotional as possible. So that's where, you know, when people say sometimes I have my eyes closed or I'm not throwing, you know, Guitar Hero shapes or anything, it's because for me all my focus, all my concentration is in that moment. You know, I suppose a lot of what I play is kind of quite emotional. So maybe, you know, there's a kind of sadness in some musicians, and maybe that's a way of expressing it, you know, cathartic release. You know, whatever it be, you know, in your childhood or events in your life, I think music is a conduit sometimes for those emotions, both for you as you express them as you're playing, but also as they resonate with the audience. You know, if you're playing and you see, you know, guys with tears running down their faces because you know, you're touching them, their soul. You know, I mean that's an incredible feeling, and also a sort of responsibility, really. You don't want to suck. You know?
It's something that happens.
Es algo que también pasa contigo. Tú estás sintiendo y estás expresando esas emociones.
Yeah, absolutely. You always you have to kind of relive it. Really. It's especially for a singer. I think with Steve Hogarth, he relives each song and the emotions that created it. But I think as a musician, yeah, you just try to reach inside yourself and express something.
Okay.
La música está cambiando, el negocio de la música está cambiando. ¿A dónde crees que va a ir todo esto? ¿Y a dónde va también tu música con este cambio?
Well, the music industry's changed because it's no longer about selling CDs. And there's only 3 or 4 major record companies that control 95% of the world's music, probably, or at least in a lot of the world. At the same time, most people under 30 years, most people just stream music as they want to hear it these days. The concept of owning a shelf full of CDs is just alien to a lot of people. Maybe not so much now because of the resurgence of vinyl, but that kind of becomes more of a collector's thing. But generally, yeah, it's only the older generations, on the whole, that want to own a physical product. So they're kind of missing out, I think, the experience that we had, you know, when you buy a new album, buy especially on vinyl by your favorite artist.
Yeah.
You take
The
it home,
smell.
the artwork and the album credits and that sense of occasion
Yeah.
and a magical feeling that you get. Because music is seen as something that's basically given away free. You can find virtually every music you want on YouTube, or Spotify or Apple Music. It's become a different thing, really, which makes it difficult for young musicians, especially, to survive, to generate enough
Make a
income.
career with his
Exactly.
music.
Yeah, my daughter's a very promising singer-songwriter, and I've helped her as much as possible. And she supported us on the Marillion tour we just did across Europe.
Okay.
She's released a really great song. It's kind of like ambient pop meets prog. The project's called Self. She released a single called In the Dark, and it's a great track. I play a really nice solo on it.
Okay.
And it's going. The people that hear it love it, and it's thousands of plays on YouTube. But it'll never generate more than
$2-3.
Yeah.
Sí.
Yeah.
And what about your
¿Y qué con tu música? ¿A dónde está yendo tu música? ¿A dónde va a ir?
Well, Marillion, we're in the process of writing the next studio album.
Okay.
But that's going to take a while because we are very busy with the amount of live work we do and just life, really. So that's not going to be. At the end of next year, I would think at the earliest before that's released.
¿Tú prefieres estar en auditorios, en conciertos en vivo o te gusta más las grabaciones de estudio?
It's a different thing. I love to write and record because I think you're creating something that will endure.
Okay.
Concerts are a fantastic thing, but unless you film them, it's here and it's gone and it's just a memory. But if you can create something worthwhile, then it will always be there, hopefully, as long as people are listening to music. For my own side of my solo stuff, I'm doing a space-themed instrumental album at the moment. I'm playing some shows at the observatories in northern Chile next year, and a show in Santiago. So that's kind of like a lot of my time and energy.
Lo que la gente de México puede esperar del concierto que se va a suceder en la Ciudad de México y bueno, ya fue en Guadalajara.
I think they're going to be very excited because, we're going to play some tracks from the Ghost of Pripyat album.
Wow.
3 tracks, so they're kind of the rockier stuff generally. But then we'll play the whole Clutching at Straws
Wow.
and a selection of other Marillion classics.
Wow, we're glad, we're excited to be in the concert. And we're finished. Estamos terminando la plática con Steve Rothery. It's been a pleasure
Cheers, thank you.
being with you. And we